Sure, we'll throw on the Liberty commercial.
Well, without a doubt, there are
coming
many,
after
many,
Code
many
Blue
stocks
Cam
out there
and
that
me
are
going
stocks.
through
I don't know
a
that there's anything
Unit
particularly
5
profound
written
about
and
the fact
writing
that
and
we have
graphing linear
dispersion in this
algebra
market.
homework packet.
I
I didn't get past. Yeah,
barely read.
It's a good one.
Those are
About
supposed
ninth
to be
grade, about
speculative
what they
stocks,
should be
but I think
doing. You
people
might want to take a
understand
peek at it.
they're
Fed.
down an average of
Why? Because
30 or
teachers
40%
fed.
from their highs, and
The
the
nonsense has
that
got
they're
to
pursuing
stop
is
about
completely
graphing
unaffected by
FX
the macro
on
economy
what these
or the
kids are
Fed.
logarithming
That's an
and
area
building
where if
to
you're
a
growth
system
manager, you
where
say, okay,
I get where
what's
I,
gonna
as a
grow if the
teacher
Fed
or a
slows the economy?
parent
Look
or
toward
person,
mid-cap and
MTF
large-cap
in this
biotech.
piece
That's
of paper will be
reasonable
like,
to
you're
me.
gonna miss, you're gonna be
If you're worried
bleeding
about
on
inflation,
students
look at
off
high
of this. If
dividend-paying
F is
oil
X and
companies
graph
that are about
X
to report record
negative
profits.
7 on a
That's
graph
reasonable.
with
Utilities
no
look good.
content
So
to the
I don't think we're
intersect
saying
of
anything
Y
special.
or
Big picture, I come on here
it's on a
every
list.
week
Now I don't
since
know what they're
January.
doing
I
at home
continue to
and
give
why it's
people
homework or
what
how
I
the book
think is the most
correlates, to be
reasonable
fair,
playbook.
but
You can't get too bearish.
no.
Because in
I
the
gotta
end,
have Alice
the
and
best
Bob
cure
running
for
something
the
worth
inflation blues
graphing
is the
or
growth you
plotting
get from
or,
corporate earnings, dividends,
you
and the
know,
US stock
some way
market.
to bolt their
But
feet to the ground.
anytime
Corn
you see
grow,
that VIX
management,
tick
kids
below
in
20,
calculus
which I
class,
think
have
is
them
the
graph
near
the
bottom of the
Berkeley
range
they're
for
doing
the
in college,
regime
just
that we're
bust
in
it off to,
since
they want it
coronavirus
to be
started
the
2
X
years
steps
ago.
to give you
And
the
so we saw
fundamentals
19 VIX
with
on Monday.
outer space
That was
as
it.
ninth graders
Start
graphing.
calming down. Start taking things off if you're a trader. Don't overstay
And
your
how we
welcome.
go about
We had a nice
rebuilding that
run.
engineer,
Now
because the
VIX is
plots,
spiking
well,
once
it's
again.
on that number
Back
right
toward
there,
28,
broken. We know it
29,
needs to be
Don't
fixed. You
stay
hear
too
everybody
bearish.
bitching, but
There are
Pennsylvania
viable
Ave just
stocks
got
at
hit,
those-
right?
at
How do you
those
run up
VIX
there again
levels.
the next
That's when
day
people
for
get too bared up.
this
And I
stuff?
agree with Tom. A lot of what's going on now is positioning. The only thing I want to say about
Ridiculous.
positioning, and the
Like
only
I said, you
problem
know,
with that
I
idea
don't,
is that it's not quite what it used
I've
to
learned
be.
photoelectric
Meaning,
effect.
yes,
I could
people might be
probably
getting risk
figure
off
out
in the stock
voltage with a
market,
multimeter
but
once I
keep in
grab
mind
the
how much
parts
risk
and
they're
put it
taking
together.
in
So
private
having a
equity
graphing calculator,
that they
being a
weren't
guy
taking
that's
years
did
ago.
pattern
It's
calcs,
like
tread
$5
calcs,
trillion
cut
in
coefficients, I've
PE
logged
funds.
those things. Never
Look at
once
venture
did I do
capital.
this. Never
Crypto
once.
is
Now,
$2 trillion.
again, to the
So
computer
there are a lot of
engineering,
risks that are being
I'd
taken
make
by
a lot of plots.
institutions
I
that are
break
not
this stuff
stock
out
market
and
risk. So
I'll
I
put
don't
down
know that we can
of the
still
log mill
rely on
videos
how
with the
bullish or
packs, the
bearish
dollar bills.
positioning is
Those are
based on the
forces.
old
That's F.
metrics
That's the
from a prior
Lagrangian
time.
or
I'd
the
love to
field,
hear
the
what Tom's
Lagrangian
take is
field
on that.
theory
Well, let me ask you this
in
first, because
algebraic
Jim's
form
clearly
to up,
speaking
down,
of
up, down,
defensive
push.
stocks, which
Kids do
have
F,
remained
graph this with
strong,
no
as you
Alice and
said,
Bob. Now, again, I can't
utilities
say that that's what the
and the
teacher in town is
staples, and
doing.
you
I want to be
make
clear
an
about that.
interesting comment.
I don't have that
I come
infinity,
on
but
here
just
since the
with this in
beginning of the year,
hand,
and we talk about
talking
the
about
playbook, and
Code
I
Blue
wonder if
Cam. I
yesterday's
don't have the
playbook
comms
works
and the
today,
cops,
given what
but you
Brainerd
even
had
hear
to
it in the
say,
video
what Dudley
about how I
wrote.
did it.
He basically said
Rough
the
in his
Fed
house.
is
The
not your
camera's
friend.
right on. Don't
In
quit.
fact,
And
it's
there's
not
kicking, you know.
even close to your friend. It's
All right,
your
so anyways, if I had to graph,
adversary. And we want
this
stocks
guy's
to go
coming
down,
in
they're
F
gonna
negative
make
7
stocks
in
to go down.
parentheses. You would register
That's wrong.
that
That's wrong. That's wrong.
code
I'll tell you why that's wrong.
140,
The Fed is your friend.
140,
They're doing this
1420,
for a
right?
reason.
1720.
It's
The
not
guy
good
needs
for
water,
the
doesn't get
economy
it,
and
can't figure it
ultimately for
out.
earnings to let
Try to
this
get him to the
run
refining
wild.
facility where
The
we can
Fed
get him on Anne
is your
Frank's
friend.
diary.
The nonsense has to stop. The nonsense. The trading of digital JPEGs
FX.
Amongst people who don't have a
FX is a
job.
number. You said nonsense.
It's gotta
Track
stop.
it. Did you try graphing it? Right now it's just zeros and ones. It starts now. You won't. It won't be sure until you have a data compression and building that Weeble scheme with Jim over there, Face the Nation, or our first Dungeons and Dragons table where the crowd is their own characters, where we could do it. But again, the reason that's important is look at much architecture. In-field, outhouse, dragon in a castle or out in the field. Can it fly? Can it do anything? Are you adding those compounded variables to your function for inflation?
Having a 5G phone